Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of the WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. Now this is going to be our next episode of the Retro roster. So let's have a quick look at the card for tonight. We're going to start things off with a big match here. It's going to be Sting taking on Vader. First time we're going to see Vader in this Universe Mode. We're also going to see Sergeant Slaughter taking on Shawn Michaels, and that sounds like quite a one-sided match to me, that one. We're going to see the Hollywood Blondes taking on the Legion of Doom. We're going to see Greg the Hammer Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man, Rythym and Blues. They're going to take on the Hart Foundation, be accompanied to the ring by the British Bulldog. And then we'll see the Bulldog in singles competition as he takes on the World Champion, Andre the Giant. And our main event this evening is going to be Macho Man Randy Savage versus Bret Hart. In a Falls Count Anywhere match, just noticed that. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match. And like I said, our first match is going to be Sting taking on Vader. And here we go, Sting versus Vader. And I think this was actually quite a good feud in WCW at its time. I've just remembered that off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure there was something between Sting and Vader. And it's great to have Vader on this game again. We did download him on 2K15 and it was a very good core. But to have him on the game as a real character is really good. And he does look very good as well. And I'm quite liking this match. We did a few times in 2K15, we put Vader up against Psycho Sid, which brought us up some very good matches, and I'm expecting some more good stuff from Vader, especially if we can get him involved in the championship picture at some point as well, maybe. Of course, our first pay-per-view for the Retro roster is not going to be until week number 3 of next month, so we're still about 5 or 6 weeks away from that big first pay-per-view. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet with the WWE Championship. Of course, currently held by Andre the Giant. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. Maybe we should do some sort of like #1 contendership tournament over the next few weeks. Be a great way to build up some momentum for the guys as well. But of course, like I said, this is week number 2, so we're going to have 5 more episodes of Saturday Night Main Event before that pay-per-view. So yeah, we could definitely do something over the next 4 weeks. To bring in a #1 contender, or maybe even several #1 contenders. Maybe we could do like a fatal 4-way match at the pay-per-view, and we could probably crown several #1 contenders going forward. Maybe 3 #1 contenders going forward, and make it a fatal 4-way match. This is very similar to the Attitude Era and the current day roster. There's a lot of big names in here, so it'd be nice to get them involved in the championship. But then again, there's a lot of big names on this roster that don't need to be involved in the championship to give them relevance, really. We can create some pretty damn good feuds, like this match here, for example. This does not need a championship to be a good match. And I think that's one of the things we need to remember. We can still have some really good feuds going on and have Andre the Giant defending his championship. Maybe I was looking at the potential feud of Sting versus Ric Flair for our first pay-per-view, which I like the idea of that. So maybe we'll come up with our 3 feuds for next week, and then once we've got the feuds sorted, we'll use the other guys that are not involved in the feuds to fight it out for #1 contendership. Maybe have a big fatal 4-way match at our Clash of Champions. Is it Clash of Champions? It is Clash of Champions pay-per-view for the WWE Championship. And I must say, Andre the Giant, after watching him last week, he absolutely demolished. Who did he face last week? He demolished Bret Hart. So Andre the Giant is really showing that he is a very good champion. Of course, this evening we're going to see him taking on British Bulldog as well, another part of the Hart Foundation stable. So maybe Andre can continue to build up some more momentum. Or, tell you what, if Bulldog was to win, then maybe Bulldog could be involved in that pay-per-view, that big fatal 4-way match. As Sting there with a tombstone power driver on Vader. Now bringing Vader away from the ropes. He's going to go in for a pin. He does. 1, 2. And Vader manages to kick out from that. Great move by Vader. I'm thinking after our Backlash pay-per-view tomorrow, which of course you can find on the Attitude Era playlist. The link is in the description below. I'm looking to maybe get a few new guys into the universe, but maybe some beforehand as Vader goes up to the middle rope. There's that big splash. Putting Sting into the middle of the ring and now going for a pin himself. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. Yes, I'm looking to bring in some new people. Probably tomorrow after Backlash. Not 100% sure yet. There's a few that I've wanted to get a hold of now for a while. And I'm thinking of maybe a few of them are just going to be to improve the Cruiserweight division in the Attitude Era as well. So Hopefully I can find a few of them. Of course, looking for War Machine as well for Ring of Honor. That's Raymond Rowe. I know Hansen's on there. As Vader with a big power bomb. This could be all 1, 2, and no, Sting kicks out once again. Vader can't believe it. He doesn't know what he needs to do to finish Sting off here. Vader with the clubbing blow across the back, now bringing Sting up into that reverse suplex. I've got a question for you. I found a website yesterday, and that's always a dodgy way to start a conversation, isn't it? I found a website yesterday where you can get personalised videos, and one of the aspects of this website are wrestling ones. So, what do you guys think? If I was to pay, say, a wrestler to do an introduction to my videos, do you think that would be a wise investment of my money? For example, I think you can get one that I was looking for this wrestler. For this roster. For $35, I can get a video made by me and Gene Okerlund. And I think that would be a perfect way to introduce our retro roster videos. If I can get him just to say a few sentences that I can break down and use for the entire universe, where we can have him introducing our Saturday night main event episodes. We're going to have him introducing all of our pay-per-views. So I'm really interested in doing that, maybe. But like I said, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a wise investment of money, or do you think it's a waste of money? There are some that, don't get me wrong, are a complete waste of money. For example, the Honky Tonk Man is $125, which of course is astronomical, and I'm not... Who's going to pay that Honky Tonk Man that much money to do that? I've got no idea. Oh yes. Vader with a pin after that big splash once again, and Vader again! It's not enough to keep Sting down, and I've just realised for $25 I can get a video from Joel Gertner. That would be amazing. $25 is not bad at all. For Joel Gertner anyway. There's quite a few on it. Austin Aries is $40. And of course this website is not just you can have them say whatever you want. You can make personalised videos and all that sort of stuff to celebrate birthdays and that. But I'm thinking of using it maybe for, like I said, introducing our universe mode. It's PJ Black. Matt Seidel's only $20 for a video from Matt Seidel. So that could be a possibility for our Ring of Honor rosters and things like that. There's Vader again with another big powerbomb. Blue Meanie, Christopher Daniels, Grandmaster Sexay. Gangrel. And finally Vader does pick up the 3 count over Sting. It was coming for quite a while. I must admit, I'm surprised Sting lasted as long as he actually did. And that's a big win for Vader. And again, it's showing on this universe mode that there are a lot of strength in numbers here in this roster. There is a lot of big names, and it's impossible really to know this early on who's going to do well in this universe mode. Of course, we knew last year it was Hogan did really well, as did Bret Hart. They sort of dominated the retro roster. So this year, at the moment, Andre the Giant's dominating with the championship, and we've seen some interesting results already. We've seen Vader just defeat Sting there. Last week, what happened last week? Shawn Michaels defeated Macho Man Randy Savage. Ultimate Warrior defeated Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Undertaker defeated Jake Roberts. There were some big matches last week. And some more big matches this week. If Shawn Michaels can defeat Sergeant Slaughter in our next match, then he's going to start to build up some momentum as well. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below as well, just going completely off subject again, what you guys would think about me maybe investing in a couple of these little personalised videos to try and make a universe mode a bit better. Not that it's going to make a massive difference, don't get me wrong, but I think it'd be nice to have them. There are some pretty interesting people you can get. There are some that I just think are absolutely insane, the amount of money they're asking for. For example, John Morrison is $200 for a personalised video, and that's just well over the top. But Kurt Angle's only $50. Jake the Snake Roberts, $100, not paying that. Velvet Sky. Mick Foley's $50 as well. Davey Boy Smith Jr., Eric Young, Kurt Hawkins, Christy Hemme. Big Van Vader himself for $49. That could be interesting. I don't know about paying $59 for Big Van Vader though. If Big Van Vader was to win the championship, I like the idea of Mean Gene Okerlund for $35 introducing our retro roster videos. But let's get straight into our next match over so I can stop blabbing on. And our next match here this evening is going to be Sergeant Slaughter taking on Shawn Michaels. And here we go. Of course, Shawn Michaels won in the main event last week against Macho Man Randy Savage. What was a great match. Of course, Savage is going to be in the main event here again this evening, facing off against Bret Hart. Both those guys lost last week, so it's going to be important for both those guys in the main event not to lose again, because, of course, remember, if you do lose 2 matches on a trot in this universe mode, you do suffer a little bit with a reduction in momentum. That's the words I'm looking for. Sorry, I'm still looking at this website. It's pretty cool, actually. Evilise for $25. That'd be pretty cool, because then she can introduce our Global Force Wrestling brand once we get our Women's Championship division sorted. If Evilise was to win the Women's Championship, then that would be a great video to have. $25 as well. That's like 17 quid, something like that. It's definitely worth. Ah, she's currently unavailable to record video messages. That's a shame. Anyway, that's something that I am looking to do, hopefully. I think it might definitely be worth it, just to try and make our universe mode a bit more special. Of course, once I've got, I know it sounds like a bit of money, like $35 for Mean Gene Okerlund, but if I can get him to say all of those sentences that we wanted to say to do our entire universe mode, not only are we done for the entire year for the retro roster, but we're done maybe forever, because if we keep using the same pay-per-views every year, then we're laughing, aren't we? Sergeant Slaughter taking an early advantage here over Shawn Michaels, and Michaels is an interesting one. Getting him to work in the retro roster alongside the Attitude Era is pretty good. Of course, he was pretty heavily involved in the retro roster, and I'm thinking, I don't know, we've got a lot of tag teams down the retro roster already, and I don't really want to get Shawn Michaels tied up in the tag team division, but I was thinking, is there a possibility maybe bringing Marty Jannetty in and bringing back the Rockers? But yeah, that's an interesting one. Like I said, we've already got quite a lot of tag teams, especially once the DLC comes out and we get the Natural Disasters and the Bushwhackers as well. And of course we get Arn Anderson to team up with Ric Flair and things like that. So once that does happen, we're going to be inundated with tag teams anyway, so I'm not quite sure if that's going to be worth it. I don't think I'd use Marty Jannetty much in singles competition anyway either. But that's definitely something we can think about doing in the future, maybe. I do have a feud planned in as well. Once we get the downloadable content, I want to have a tag team feud between Ric Flair and Arn Anderson tagging up to take on the team of the Ultimate Warrior and Sting. I really like the idea of that one. The Blade Runners versus the... oh, my microphone thing's gone again. The Blade Runners versus the Horsemen they're going to be. We're not going to have the 4 Horsemen, just thought... We could have the 4 Horsemen. I know Lex Luger was a very limited part of the Horsemen, but not necessarily a good part of the Horsemen, but... so that's a possibility. I don't know who these people are on this website. Who the hell is Crazy Mary? No offense if you're watching Crazy Mary, but I doubt you are. Sergeant Slaughter now sending Shawn Michaels down. And there's that big diving fist drop by Sergeant Slaughter. Michaels now. Slaughter going up top once again. Are these high-risk maneuvers going to advantage Sergeant Slaughter, or is he going to end up crashing and burning here at some point? Changes his mind, comes back down as Shawn Michaels makes way back up to his feet. Slaughter now throwing Shawn Michaels into the corner, spinning him round. Again, sending Shawn Michaels down. Up to the middle rope, and there's another diving fist there by Sergeant Slaughter, and Slaughter's really doing well here, dominating the match. And this is not what we expected from this match between Slaughter and Michaels. I'm not quite sure what Slaughter's rating is in this game, actually. I know last year his rating was terrible. I think I am going to probably raise him up a little bit, just to make him a little bit more involved in, not necessarily the main event picture, but I want to make him better than some of the other guys on the roster, because he is. He should be up there. And I really want to have a bit more feuds involved in Sergeant Slaughter this year and things like that. So that's what we'll definitely do. Of course, he is still part of the Triangle of Terror alongside General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa. And I'm thinking maybe of increasing Adnan as well. Is it Adnan the one I'm thinking of? I think it may be increasing General Adnan, who is the Iron Sheik, and maybe creating the Iron Sheik attire as well for him to wear. And we do have Hogan on this roster as well. We haven't seen him in the first 2 episodes, but we do have Hogan on this roster I'm sort of dubious about putting Hogan involved in the title picture once again because, like I said, he dominated the title picture on our 2K15 universe mode, and I really want to just make this one a little bit more different and try and push different guys. And so far, with Andre the Giant being the champion is fantastic, and if we can get a few different guys involved in that main event. And there is the Sweet Chin Music by Michaels, launched Sergeant Slaughter up, caught him in the Sweet Chin Music, and terrible ring position there by Michaels. Sergeant Slaughter's arm was underneath the ropes and the referee wouldn't even count. Slaughter now frown into the corner, fighting his way out and taking Michaels up. Michaels manages to break free and drop Sergeant Slaughter in that arm breaker. Bringing Slaughter back up to his feet, and there's a quick roll through by Michaels, and once again I think Sergeant Slaughter was underneath the bottom ropes and the referee would not count. Michaels now with a reverse DDT. And just quickly, actually, I just want to apologise for the delay. I know I said I'd try and get these videos for 8 AM in the morning, but I've been a bit delayed on this one. I got a bit drunk last night. I didn't mean to. I meant to have a few beers and then record some episodes while I'm drinking the beers. But instead I got through 10 bottles of beer and then I was just a bit too hammered to even press record. So I went to bed, got up this morning, done my shopping, and now I'm here recording videos. Going to try and get quite a few done today to get ahead of myself as well. I need to record some more Fallout 4 because I haven't played Fallout 4 for about 2 weeks now and I've reused up every single one of the episodes I've got, so I need to record some more of that this evening as well. And there you go, there's Michaels with a victory after that big moonsault. That's 2 victories in a row for Shawn Michaels now in this universe mode. That's going to give him a momentum boost. I think it's going to give him a momentum boost, isn't it? It's difficult because I know he's part of Attitude Era as well. I'm not entirely sure whether he's had a match hit in the Attitude Era. Let's have a quick look in my pad. Right. Nope, Shawn Michaels was not in week number 1, and Shawn Michaels did not wrestle on week number 2 either. No, so Shawn Michaels now does have a momentum boost, and we are going to see him tomorrow as well as part of our Backlash pay-per-view. He's going to be part of the pre-show, though. He's going to main event the pre-show in a match against Sting, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. That will be uploaded tomorrow. And it's great for Michaels to pick up 2 successive victories, and maybe Michaels could be looking for the championship here in the Retro roster as well. Like I said, I think next week we might decide our feuds, and then after we decide our feuds, we can probably start to. See, I don't think the rivalries are going to take place until week number 4, so we're going to have another episode. We're going to have one more episode before the feuds will actually start, and that's going to be after our NXT Takeover Arrival pay. There's a big moonsault that won the match. And yeah, after that, then we'll start to decide number 1 contender. But I'm thinking Shawn Michaels should be involved in that. If you guys have any ideas for feuds you would like to see, like I said, I think we're going to do Sting versus Ric Flair for the first pay-per-view. But apart from that, yeah, I'm looking for suggestions of another 2 feuds that you would like to see in this retro roster. Drop in the comment section below. And I don't know how. If we do, if you guys pick feuds, if other people like the comments with the feuds on, we'll try and pick the one that's got the most likes, if that makes sense. That sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? And here comes our 3rd match this evening. It's going to be the Hollywood Blondes in their first match in this universe mode, taking on the Legion of Doom, who defeated Demolition last week. And here we go with the 3rd match of the evening. It's the Legion of Doom taking on the Hollywood Blondes. Of course, the Legion of Doom defeated Demolition last week, so you'd have to think that another victory here this evening against the Hollywood Blondes would probably make them number 1 contenders, really, for the Tag Team Championships. So I do really want to have week number 4 of this month be a bit more special. So maybe we could have week number 4 as an event where we defend both the Tag Team Championships and the Intercontinental Championship as well, maybe. That could be something we could definitely look at doing. But until then, we're going to have to decide who's going to get the chances. Probably try and decide the Intercontinental Championship number 1 contendership next week. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking maybe a win here for Legion of Doom would probably probably enforce them as the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships, but I'll have to wait and see what happens here, I suppose. This is the third time I'm recording this match. We've had 2 really dodgy finishes so far, so I've decided to do it once again. The first match went on about 45 minutes, and then the match was... there was a disqualification. As I think Austin was a bit slow getting out of the ring, so the referee disqualified Austin, and I thought to myself, I can't have that as a finish of this match, I really can't. And sorry if I sound a little bit distracted, something just popped up on my laptop monitor, and I'm really hoping it is what I think it is. If it is what I think it is, I'm going to be so happy. And the football has started, and my bets are on the go. And if what has just happened I think has happened, my screen is frozen, so I'm not quite sure if that's a goal or not. I'm hoping it's a goal. There's some people hugging each other and they're smiling, so that to me means it's a goal. But the scoreboard itself hasn't changed as yet. Animal now attacking Austin on the outside. On Austin, I've thrown Animal into them ring steps, and it's an interesting match, this one, because like I said, if Legion of Doom do win, they would have picked up victories over Demolition and the Hollywood Blondes 2 weeks in a row. That would definitely make them #1 contenders in my eyes, but a victory here for the Hollywood Blondes would just throw the whole tag team division wide open. I think next week we'll definitely have to get some #1 contenders. Not quite sure yet who would be involved. Oh, big springboard splash there by Brian Pillman. That's why they call him Flying Brian. Russian leg sweep by Brian Pillman as well. Now bringing Animal back up to his feet. Animal now sending Pillman into the corner there. It was a goal, I think, by the looks of it, which is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Hawk comes into the ring, replacing Animal. Oh, please tell me that's what I think it is as well. I think the football might have just turned around completely in my favour. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit distracted. I wasn't expecting this much excitement in the football at the time the game was going to start. When this match started, the team that I'd bet on were 1-0 down, and over the last couple of seconds, I think they may have gone 2-1, have they? No, it's still 1-1. Okay. It's a shame. I thought that was 2-1 there for a second. That's disappointing. But I really want to win for Crystal Palace, because it's on my bet. If I win my bet, then we're looking good. If I win my bet, then we might go ahead and get Mean Gene Okerlund to do us a video. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it. If I win my bet, which is worth about 200 quid, then I will pay for Mean Gene Okerlund to make us a video to have in front of our retro rosters. Oh my god, they've scored. Yes, Crystal Palace have scored. Excellent, right. So one part of my bet is looking bloody fantastic now. I was starting to worry there for a second, but there we go. Pillman in with a pin now, 2. It's only a 2 count. And I thought there for a second that Hawk's face paint was starting to rub off, and I'm really hoping that would be something they'd bring into this game, but it doesn't look like they have. But I think it's just the angle and the lighting, but it did look like his face paint was starting to rub off there. In comes Austin as a clubbing blow across the back, and I would like to probably do like a FIFA career mode on my channel as well at some point, but the problem is I'm not very good at FIFA, so I've been trying off camera to try and get half decent. I can't play in Legendary or World Class mode, I'm just not good enough for that. So at the moment I'm playing on Professional at the moment, but I want to hopefully get a little bit better at it. I'm not sure if I was going to do a FIFA career mode, what I would do, whether I'd try and take like a League 2 side in England and try and get them all the way up to the Premiership, or just start off with a Premiership side. I think that's probably the best idea, start off with a Premiership side and see how well we can get on. Hawk went in with a pin there, but Austin manages to kick out, and Hawk with a big knee to the back of Austin. But I'm not sure if I will do a FIFA career mode just as yet. Of course, I've got a lot on my plate with currently doing the Universe mode, and with doing the random matches and doing Fallout 4 as well. If I was going to start recording FIFA as well, that's just going to be a hell of a lot of stuff. to get done during a week. I'm just trying to get as far as I can ahead this weekend because of mainly the G1 Climax Festival coming up. That's going to be a lot of work for me, so I need to really get as far ahead as I possibly can. But that shouldn't be too difficult this weekend. I have procrastinated quite a bit, which is why this video is later than I would hopefully have it. But straight after this video, I'm going to record the Backlash pre-show and Backlash as well, so they should be uploaded for you first thing tomorrow morning. And then hopefully I'm going to try and get WWE and Global Force Wrestling done today as well, and then get on to do some Fallout episodes. I've not played Fallout for about 2 weeks, and it's a game that I really, really like. Oh, and there's nearly a victory there for the Legion of Doom. Great work there by Legion of Doom, but it just was not enough to keep the Hollywood Blondes down. Hawk throwing Austin into the corner now. Hawk takes Austin up onto the top turnbuckle. What has Hawk got planned here? Looks like he's going to go for a good old-fashioned superplex. Hits it perfectly. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Only enough for a 2 count. Brian Pillman was there just in time to break it up. Animal throwing Pillman over the top rope. Oh my god, this is going perfectly, my bets now. My bets are going absolutely perfectly. Suplex there by Austin. I've got a threefold on. I've got Watford to beat Aston Villa. I've got Crystal Palace to beat Newcastle. And Man United to beat Leicester. Crystal Palace have gone from 1-0 down to be 2-1 up. And Watford are now 1-0 up as well over Aston Villa. I'm a little bit worried about the Man United game. I am a Man United fan, but I would hope that Man United would win that one. Austin with the power driver. This could be all now for the Hollywood Blondes. Austin going to go in for the pin here. 1, 2, Pillman's across. It's only enough for a 2 count. Pillman did a fantastic job of taking Animal out of the equation, but it was not enough. Big right hands by Austin now. Hawk though managed to reverse it, sending Austin over the top of his shoulders. As you see, Pillman and Animal fight on the outside. Pillman's actually thrown Animal back into the ring. I'm not quite sure that's a wise idea. But this is how I think this is how they got disqualified in the first match. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. They got thrown into the ring, and it just took, because he was so worn out at that point. It's been 45 minutes in. It took him so long to get up. And then when he finally did get up, the referee disqualified him for being in the ring for too long. So that was a bit frustrating. And for the first time in my entire life, the football bet seems to be going my way. I think every single match that's currently on that I need to be going a certain way is already going now. I've actually got 2 left. Sorry, I've got 2 left. I need Everton to win, and I need Brighton to win. And like I said, it's important for you guys as well for these matches to win, because then we get a video from Mean Gene Oakland. Which is something we really, really want. Brian Pillman now sending Animal into the corner. Pillman springing up. Has Animal in a head scissors and takes him down. Pillman going up onto the top rope. What does he have planned here? Well, Animal's going back up to his feet, but Pillman... Big crossbody. In for the pin he goes on Animal. 1, 2. Austin has Hawk, but Animal managed to kick out from that crossbody. Great moving now. Pillman again going up to the top rope. What does he have planned? Decides against it as Animal managing to crawl away. Pillman going up to a different rope, but Animal back up to his feet now. Pillman again decides against it, throwing Animal into that corner. I'll tell you what, Pillman looking really good in this game. I've not used him as yet. I've got a couple of random matches planned in for him. I think I've got Dean Ambrose versus Brian Pillman, and I've got Kenny Omega versus Brian Pillman both planned in. So that's going to be interesting. I like the sound of both those matches. I'm not sure if anyone suggests those, or if those are ones that I came up with myself. I think those are the ones that I came up with. I know Alex Haley suggested Ambrose versus Cactus Jack, which is a really good match. We'll probably do that very, very soon. Yeah, I think... I know, there you go. Brian Pillman versus Dean Ambrose was suggested by William Bannister. So that is definitely one we'll be doing over the next few days as well. Pillman's looking very, very good. I don't think we'll probably use the other Pillman attire. Of course, this is his Hollywood Blondes attire. We'll probably use his other attire when we look to those matches. Because there was the possibility of putting Brian Pillman in the Hart Foundation alongside the other guys, but I really wanted to have the Hollywood Blondes as a team in this retro roster. Really gives them both a lot of versatility in this roster as well. Pillman, of course, is also on the Attitude Era roster. Not used him as of yet on the Attitude Era. So I think he was still in the Attitude Era up until the time where he passed away, and I think that was about 97, was it? He passed away. Which was a bit of a shock because I didn't realise. I was watching a show on the network, an old pay-per-view, and there you go. The Hollywood Blondes have picked up the victory over the Legion of Doom. Okay, so that has thrown the tag team division wide open. Next week we will... I love that little Saturday night main event thing in the bottom corner. I'm going to have a look at doing that. Okay, we're going to change a couple of bits up, I think. Yeah, sorry, I got completely distracted there. Yeah, it's completely blown the tag team division wide open. We'll have to discover next week who our tag team #1 contenders are going to be. But yeah, I was saying a minute ago, yeah, I remember I watched a pay-per-view on the network a few months back, and it was a pay-per-view where Brian Pillman was booked, and they actually said halfway through that unfortunately Brian Pillman had been found in his hotel room and passed away, which was quite shocking. They continued on with the pay-per-view. But yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. So yeah, I think he was in the Attitude Era up until, must have been about 97, 98, so I have got him in my Attitude Era roster. We've not used him as of yet. I'm not quite sure what to do with him. I think he can be involved in the Cruiserweight division, which would be pretty good. Maybe we can have him involved in our Fatal 4-Way ladder match tomorrow at Backlash. That's an interesting idea. We'll have to have a look at that. I say tomorrow, I'm going to record it right now, but I'll have a look now on the community creations and see if I can get the correct wrestlers I want. If I can't, then I think Brian Pillman could definitely be involved in that Cruiserweight Championship match. But either way, great victory here for the Hollywood Blondes. Next week we will discover our #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. I'm starting to think the Hollywood Blondes should definitely be involved in that match. Probably as should Legion of Doom. They picked up a victory last week as well. And Hart Foundation. I'm just trying to think now how we can do this. Maybe, I've done once before, on 2K15, we did a Fatal 4-Way match where each of the teams put forward one guy, and the one guy that won that match, him and his partner went on to become #1 contender. So I'm liking that idea. Maybe we could have one member of Legion of Doom, one member of the Hollywood Blondes, one member of the Hart Foundation, and one member of another lucky tag team. And then the winner will go on to become the #1 contenders. But anyway, let's get straight into our next match. And here is our next match. It's Greg the Hammer Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man, Rhythm and Blues. They're taking on the team of the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and they're going to be accompanied to the ring by the British Bulldog. And here we go. Hopefully with a little bit more luck than what I did in the last tag team match. Of course, Legion of Doom versus the Hollywood Blondes. Went on for about 40 minutes before the referee made a dodgy decision to disqualify the Hollywood Blondes. So I had to re-record that match. Hopefully we can get through this one in one go. Like I said, it was the Hart Foundation lost last week in the championship match against the Higher Being. So this evening they'll be itching to get themselves a victory underneath their belts to try and avoid getting that reduction in momentum, of course. 2 consecutive losses on this universe mode does give you a cold streak stat, which I don't think 1 cold streak stat is going to be a massive problem, but of course the more, they can stack up to 10, I believe. So if you end up with 10, then you're really going to be struggling. And it's really good to have the British Bulldog on the game this year. We've used him quite a few times, of course. He's not only going to be in the retro roster, he is going to be in the Attitude Era as well. And yeah, he's been He's going to be a good one. And they're going to have some big parts to play in this universe mode as well. Especially trying to maybe recreate that big match he had against Bret Hart at SummerSlam for the championship. Was that the Intercontinental Champion? I don't think it wasn't the World Championship, because I don't think Bulldog ever won the championship. I think it might have been the Intercontinental Championship, maybe. Of course, that was the last big pay-per-view to take place in England. That was SummerSlam. I miss some of the British. They used to do like the random British sort of pay-per-views, didn't they? They used to do Insurrection and Rebellion and things like that. So maybe that's something we could look at doing it in our universe mode, maybe for Attitude Era, maybe even the current day roster as well. Maybe just busting out like an Insurrection pay-per-view just randomly one evening. Obviously have some championship matches on the go and things like that. That'd be pretty cool. There's Greg the Hammer Valentine in the ring now for the first time of this match. And I really like this Greg the Hammer Valentine core. It does look really good. But I think he might be one of the guys that we might end up losing pretty soon to bring in some of the new guys we want to bring in. Of course, as the whole thing is evolving, we're bringing new guys in, we're taking old guys out. And like I said, it's just going to be a very fluid sort of universe mode. Things are going to change very often. We'll keep the main bulk of people, and don't get me wrong, we'll keep all the main event guys in, we'll keep all the majority of the tag teams and things like that in, but we will be changing some of the less important people. Will keep moving in and out, especially since we need to start making our women's division soon. So we're going to end up with about sort of 15-20 women being downloaded. But I'm thinking maybe not, because we don't have as many women's matches on the go at the same time. So I'm thinking as long as I have maybe 4 women every single month, that's going to be enough to build ourselves a feud and a championship match. Then of course next month we can just change which 4 women we've got, and just like I say, keep it very fluid. We can do the same thing with the men as well. Obviously there's certain people that I want to keep in there so they're in the rankings all the time, but certain others, like people for the Cruiserweight division, probably don't matter too much really what their rankings are going to be, because we're going to put those matches together ourselves anyway. So it's that sort of it. Of course we'll have to keep the champions, don't get me wrong about that, but like we've got to have the next gen champion Killshot. He's another one who I'm thinking might have to make way for some of the newer guys. But of course at the moment he's holding the Global Force Wrestling Next Gen Championship, so he is in the clear to be kept. There's Greg the Hammer Valentine now rolling Neidhart over, now locking a submission on the outside. Referee's counting still. He's up to a 5 count as Valentine slides back into the ring, as does Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Neidhart there, the belly to belly slam. And maybe I should reduce the amount of tag team matches per card. Maybe just leave it a 1 tag match, or maybe 2 at the moment. We'll never have more than 2 tag matches on a card in one evening, because it just really does extend the length of the card, doesn't it? Especially, like I said, the first time I recorded Hollywood Blondes versus Legion of Doom, the match went to nearly 45 minutes before the referee disqualified them, which was absolutely terrible. To be sat there for that long for the match to finish by disqualification was really annoying. It really was. Like I said, I don't mind on this game if matches last about sort of 15 minutes. It's probably the maximum. Might start doing that in the Global Force Wrestling G1 Climax coming up soon. Actually, well, maybe we could do a we could do time limit. Oh, we can't, because we can't change the match rules this year. That's really frustrating. I wish. That's one thing that I can't believe they've taken out, because it's such a big thing. Taking away the match rules, because it'd be nice to put time limit matches into the G1 Climax, and if you win, obviously you get 2 points. If you draw, you get 1 point. If you lose, you get no points. But yeah, it's really frustrating. It's something that probably a lot of people don't notice as the match rules being taken away, but something I used to use quite a lot to really create just slightly different matches, different stipulations and things like that. As Anvil Neidhart there went for a pin from that super sidewalk slam. It wasn't enough, and there's a big shoulder block there by Jim the Anvil Neidhart. How about that for a random match suggestion? Maybe the Honky Tonk Man versus Heath Slater. That's a bit of a random one, isn't it? I might actually do that, you know, just for a bit of fun. do have quite a lot of random matches to record for you guys now. I've got a nice big list on the go. Going to try and make sure we get one uploaded every single day. As Owen Hart in with a pin. Jim the Anvil Neidhart taking Greg the Hammer Valentine out. Well, maybe not. See, Greg the Hammer Valentine took Jim the Anvil Neidhart out, but Honky Tonk Man was able to kick out after the 2 count. Honky Tonk now taking Owen Hart up. There's the big vertical suplex. Raking his foot across the face of Owen Hart as well. Bringing Owen Hart back up to his feet. Oh, Honky Tonk Man there with a Russian leg sweep on Owen Hart. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Oh, and Owen Hart managed to kick out. It would not be very good at all for Hart Foundation if they were to lose here this evening. Like I said, 2 losses in a row would give them that cold streak buff, which they really don't want. Owen Hart throwing the Honky Tonk Man into the corner, taking him up high. What does he have planned here? Draping him over that top rope and a DDT. Very vicious move there by Owen Hart. Now taking Honky Tonk up. There's that pile driver. In for the pin he goes. And Greg the Hammer Valentine was too quick across the ring. And I do think there are some issues still with the tag team matches. I really think Jim the Anvil Neidhart, he ran around the pin to try and get across to Greg the Hammer Valentine there, but just he was not quick enough. As Owen Hart rolling Honky Tonk Man over into the sharpshooter. It's not enough. Owen now rolling Honky Tonk over into the pin. 1, 2. Did Jim the Anvil Neidhart just try and break that pin up? Oh, he did, didn't he? Please, 2K, fix these tag team matches. They're not working very well. They're not working very well at all. Honky Tonk Man throwing Owen Hart straight into the ring steps. I think singles matches have been really, really improved this year, but tag team matches do seem to be struggling. I'm thinking maybe if the guy who had done the finisher, if his partner was a little bit more quicker off the block, instead of waiting for his partner to go for the pin, maybe running across the ring and taking them out while he's hitting his finisher maneuver, like what they did in 2K15. Running across the ring and taking the opponent off the apron before the pin actually got locked in. There's the Russian leg sweep there by the Honky Tonk Man. Now comes across, he brings in Greg the Hammer Valentine. And I must admit, British Bulldog's not having much of an impact on this match at all. But of course, he's probably conserving his energy because he has taken on the WWE Champion, Andre the Giant, in the ring next. It's going to be a massive match, that is, for Bulldog. If he could pick up a victory, he would really be in a great position to be fighting for that World Championship. Owen Hart now just gripping the shoulder of Greg the Hammer Valentine. Slamming him down into the mat now. Coming across and bringing in Jim the Anvil Neidhart. What does Neidhart have in his locker? Does he have anything saved up while he's been stood there on the apron? Sending Valentine into the corner. Taking him up onto that top turnbuckle. Bringing him down into the Tree of Woe. And just pushing his foot into the face. Valentine now with the front chance. We're going to bring in Neidhart in, and there's the backbreaker. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. Neidhart tripping Valentine. In for the pin he goes. After a trip, that's never going to be a 3 count, surely. It's not. It's only a 2 count still. Neidhart now with a backbreaker. Bringing Greg the Hammer Valentine back up to his feet, but Valentine manages to take Neidhart down. There's a backbreaker again by Valentine, and Neidhart bringing him back up to his feet once again. But Neidhart just launched him straight over the top. Coming across and looks to be bringing in Owen Hart, which he does. And I must admit, I thought the Hart Foundation would dominate this match a lot more than what they have already. I thought this match would have been won quite easily for them, to tell the truth. There's the Saito suplex by Owen Hart. Bringing Valentine into the middle of the ring, going for the pin now. One. Only enough for a 1 count. And again, you see Neidhart, he runs around the pin and then he stops dead and doesn't do anything. So it seems pointless to run away around, not to do anything. And this could be it though. Owen Hart taking Greg Valentine up into the pile driver. Neidhart has Honky Tonk on the outside, and why is Owen Hart not going for the pin? Pin him! Oh my god, this game. Come on, pin him! What is he doing? Can anybody tell me what Owen Hart is doing right here? He had the perfect opportunity to win that match there and then. Why did he not go for the pin when he had a chance? It seems to be only tag team matches we have this problem in. Maybe he has a wiser plan that I'm not aware of, but that just seems like a very strange thing to do for me. By Owen Hart there. He had that match won. Anvil had Honky Tonk Man on the outside, out of position. And Owen Hart hit that big power driver on, of course, his opponent, Greg the Hammer Valentine. That match was there and then. It was done. Big punch to the stomach there by Owen Hart. Butterfly suplex to the bridge and the pin. And again, it's not enough to pick up the victory. It probably would have been after that power driver. But Jim the Anvil Neidhart finding a very good job of blocking off the Honky Tonk Man. Sending him over the top rope now. Owen Hart taking Greg Valentine up onto the corner. There's a clubbing blow across the back. And Owen Hart looking for here now a super German suplex. Surely that's going to be enough. What's he doing? Why has he not gone for the pin? Oh my, what? I don't get it. Have I switched pinfalls off on this game or something? I just did not understand why, after a super German suplex, he's not gone for the pin right there. Honky Tonk Man again was out of position. That was a perfect opportunity for him to win the match. Greg Valentine rolls out. And yeah, I think I'll definitely stick to just one tag team match per card, because they're 2 tag matches in a row here have just caused so much problems. Right to the eyes by Jim the Anvil. Like I said, this should be a really simple match. I think Valentine's like rated 81, Honky Tonk's rated like 78, and Owen Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart are like 88 and 87, so they should have won this match very, very quickly and easily. Neidhart with that big shoulder block going in for the pin now. 1, 2... And there you go, finally they do pick up the victory. Owen Hart is a lot better at blocking off, it seems, than Jim the Anvil Neidhart ever was. Coming across the ring, catching the Honky Tonk Man with that spinning neck breaker. And that was enough to allow Jim the Anvil Neidhart to get the pin over Greg the Hammer Valentine. So Greg the Hammer and Jim the Anvil are probably quite a good team, really, aren't they? You do hammer onto an anvil, there you go. So it's a great win, finally, for the Hart Foundation. They needed that victory. It was a loss for them last week in that Tag Team Championship match, and a loss here again would have really reduced their momentum. So it was very important for them to get the victory here, and they have done as well, which is vital for them. So, yeah, let's be interesting. The Tag Team division is still quite open, even though what happened in the last match There was the pin earlier on by the Honky Tonk Man. There were several occasions where I thought the Hart Foundation should have won this match, and I really thought they'd wasted their opportunity on a couple of occasions. There was that big finish, that big shoulder block there by Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Just bringing Greg the Hammer Valentine into the ring, went for the pin, and you'll see Owen Hart is a lot quicker at getting round and caught Honky Tonk Man with that spinning neck breaker while he was only halfway into the ring, and that is a great victory there for the Hart Foundation. And of course Bulldog's going to stay out here because he's got a big match coming up straight after this against Andre the Giant. But the Hart Foundation, very important win for them. A loss last week, but they managed to turn it around here now this evening. And our next match here this evening, like I just said, is going to be the British Bulldog taking on the WWE Champion Andre the Giant one-on-one. And here we go. Of course, Andre the Giant made short work of Bret Hart last week. And will he do the same thing here against the British Bulldog? If the British Bulldog wins, then I'm thinking maybe he should be involved in our big main event in the coming Clash of Champions pay-per-view. Like I said, I'm thinking of going towards a Fatal 4-Way match for our Clash of Champions pay-per-view. Not quite sure why, but I think it'll just give us a chance to get more people involved in our big main event. Of course, we'll probably decide who it's going to be after we've decided our feuds, which we're going to do over the next couple of weeks as well. As I said, I've already got Sting versus Ric Flair in there because that was a great feud early on in WCW history. So maybe, like I said, I just want to see if you guys have any suggestions. Like I said, if there's any comments in the comment section below, if you like the ones that you like the sound of, and then of course the comments with the most likes, I will try and use. Of course, but they can't contradict each other, if that makes sense. We can't have Sting and Flair in more than one feud. Remember, we do still have Hogan as well. Hogan could be involved. Want to have week number 4 as well of our retro roster, which is the week where our feuds are finally going to come into play. I want to have a tag team championship match and an IC championship match. Of course, we'll have the Higher Beings defending their belts, and we will have the Ultimate Warrior defending his Intercontinental Championship as well. Not entirely sure against who yet. Maybe we can decide our number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship next week. Bulldog there with that big clothesline on Andre the Giant, and maybe Bulldog's got a chance here, you know. Andre taking Bulldog over the top of his shoulders right there. And Andre so far has dominated. He's yet to lose a match on 2K16. He, of course, won the WWE Championship Tournament. And then he won his first Universe Mode match last week. So we're yet to see Andre the Giant on the losing side. And another victory here, I think, this evening would be a very important one for Andre. Because, of course, he won last week. So another victory here would be 2 consecutive victories. That would put him into the realm of having a little bit of a momentum boost. Which the last thing you want is for Andre the Giant to become even stronger. I'm still looking at this website for certain people that can do us a video. Apparently Brooke Tessmock will do us a video. However, I'm pretty sure it's not the video I'm hoping for. Yeah. I went there. Andre the Giant now pushing his foot into the face of Bulldog, and now Andre taking control of this one. Just slamming Bulldog's head into the mat. That's not a nice position to be in. Bulldog, though, coming back into it with these clubbing blows across the back of Andre the Giant. Andre's starting to struggle now. In for the pin goes Bulldog. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. Bulldog now throwing Andre the Giant into that far corner. And Bulldog's done a very good job here. He's probably doing a bit better than what Bret did last week. And can he hold on? That's the main thing. Bulldog bringing Andre back up to his feet once again. And he's going to show his strength off here. Big vertical suplex by Bulldog on Andre the Giant. Yep, that happened. In for the suplex. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Bulldog nearly had a massive victory here over the WWE Champion, Andre the Giant. Andre with a snapmare now. But again, Bulldog finding his way back up to his feet. He's got a lot left in the locker here, Bulldog seems. Andre now pulling Bulldog into the middle of the ring. Rolls him over like a dead weight though. 1, 2. And Bulldog managed to kick out once again. Andre taking Bulldog up onto his gorilla press. Dropping him down flat into the ring. Dropping his entire body weight across the chest of Bulldog. And that could be down and out for Bulldog. 1, 2. And no, Bulldog kicked out once again. I was sure that combination by Andre was going to win the match there and then. The gorilla press. Oh my word, that's a huge, huge left-handed punch. And now the big elbow. 1, 2. And again, Bulldog kicked out. Bulldog shown an incredible amount of resilience in this match. Andre taking Bulldog up. Bulldog fighting back though with that elbow to the face. Andre just crushing the skull of Bulldog. That took a bit out of Andre as well. I think Andre is starting to struggle. The longer this match goes on, the more difficult it's becoming for him. Andre taking Bulldog up into a shin breaker. It's not a move we'd expect to see from Andre the Giant, but there you go. Trip there by the British Bulldog, taking the current WWE Champion Andre the Giant down. I just realised I keep opening and closing my pencil case. I bet you guys can hear the zip, can't you? Yeah, I do have a pencil case on my desk. I don't want to lose my pencils. Bulldog with a pin. Could this be a great victory here for Bulldog? 1, 2. No, Andre the Giant kicked out. Andre slowly but surely getting back up to his feet, as does Bulldog. Both these guys come together again in the middle of the ring. Andre, though, with that snapmare, and now looking to slow the match down, but Bulldog with a back elbow. There's the snapmare by Bulldog. Gorilla press again by Andre the Giant. Big gorilla press. Again, dropping his body weight onto the chest of Bulldog. And now surely this is going to be all. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go, your WWE Champion, Andre the Giant, victorious once again here on WWF Retro Roster Saturday Night Main Event. He's clubbing blows across the back of Andre the Giant. In for the pin goes Bulldog. And it was not enough. Bulldog thought he had quite a few opportunities this evening, but again, it just was not enough for him to pull off the victory at any point in time. And look at this huge suplex. What a massive moment this was for Bulldog. He thought he might have had the victory there. Obviously, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But again, it was not enough to keep the WWE Champion Andre the Giant down. And it's going to take somebody rather special to take this belt away from Andre at Clash of the Champions. Like I said, we are going to probably do a fatal 4-way match, I'm thinking, for that championship at the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. But of course, we will start to decide who is going to be in that one probably week 4 onwards. So not next week, the week after. Once we've discovered who all of our feuds are going to be, then we can start to plan out our pay-per-view a little bit more. And again, like I said earlier, if you guys have any suggestions for feuds, drop them down in the comment section below. And of course, if you like anybody else's feuds, hit the like button on their comment. And the comments with the most likes is the feuds that we'll go ahead with. Andre the Giant for the second week in a row victorious over a member of the Hart Foundation. Last week it was Bret Hart. This week it's the British Bulldog. And Andre is really showing why he is the champion. And again, we're yet to see him lose a single match on WWE 2K16. How long will this run go on for? Have to keep tuned to the retro roster to find out, won't you? And our main event here this evening is going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match between Macho Man Randy Savage and Bret Hart. And here we go. We are underway. Both these guys lost their first matches last week. Of course, Bret Hart lost to Andre the Giant. The Macho Man Randy Savage lost in the main event to Shawn Michaels. So it's going to be important for both of these guys to avoid another loss here this evening. Another loss would mean that they would pick up a cold streak buff. And that is not something they want. I say a buff, it's more of a debuff. That is not what they want to do going further into this universe mode. Especially since we are going to start to decide who the #1 contenders are going to be for Andre the Giant's WWE Championship over the next few weeks. You want to make sure you've got as much behind you as possible going into those #1 contendership sort of battles. I'm not quite sure yet, like I said, how we're going to decide the #1 contenders. I'm thinking to give a lot of people opportunities. We can probably do something different every single week. Maybe one week we could do a 6-man battle royal. The next week we could do a Fatal 4-way match to decide the #1 contender. The next week we can do something else. So yeah, that's an interesting one. I like the sound of that. And it is definitely something that we're going to have some fun deciding. But like I said, it is going to be Fatal 4-way, I think, a Clash of Champions. We will find out who the #1 contender is going to be once we find out who's going to be in our feuds as well. Hopefully try and put the feuds in next week. Of course, they won't start until week number 4 anyway. But we'll get them all plumbed in next week so they're ready to go. Like I said, I've already got Sting versus Ric Flair down to do. And again, if you guys have any suggestions for ones you would like to see, then please let me know in the comment section below. Of course, this is Falls Count Anywhere, so not only Falls Count Anywhere, but of course, no disqualifications as well. That's why you can see Bret Hart under the ring looking for some weaponry. He brings out a table as Macho Man trying to get a table of his own. And I think the game should be a bit more intelligent to allow people to be hit during animations just like that. You see the clipping of the table going through the stomach of Macho Man there, and I wonder if that table is still breakable. It's not quite on the floor. I wonder, yeah, if it works that way. Sorry if you can hear my phone buzzing. It's just the 3 o'clock Saturday games have just started, so my phone's just buzzing to let me know, because I do have some bets on this weekend, and hopefully I'm going to win a little bit of money. Macho Man Randy Savage launching Bret Hart off that rope, and there's a back elbow by Savage. Savage with the elbow to the head of Bret Hart. And a big, big right hand as well. Like I said, I do have some ideas in my mind for things I'd like to do for WrestleMania as well. I'm trying to save some of the biggest and best feuds for WrestleMania, but at the same time, it's difficult because we don't know what the who the champions are going to be for WrestleMania. We don't know who's going to win the Royal Rumble, things like that. So we have to really try and use the best things we can to start off with, I suppose, and just trying to think new ones up as we get further in. I'm sure as we get further in, we'll be able to build our own sort of feuds and have our own sort of really good matches as well. So that's something that I like the idea of. Bret Hart can't decide which corner to go up to, but this time he's going up to this near side corner. What's he going for? Not often we see Bret go to the top rope, and it's a diving double fist drop. And now slowing the pace of the match down, just pushing his knee into the back of the Macho Man Randy Savage. And I've got the football on my other laptop as I'm recording this. But it's like one frame every 2 seconds because I'm trying to upload a video at the same time. So it's not going too well at the moment. But it is very important that match is a win. This is one of the matches that I'm scared about. I've got a triple on, and all 3 matches should be wins, but I'm a little bit scared at the same time. I've got down Crystal Palace to defeat Newcastle, which should be a Crystal Palace win. I've got Watford to win away at Aston Villa, which again should be a Watford win. I've got Man United to win away at Leicester, which that's going to be a more difficult match, I think. But I'm a Man United fan, so I weren't going to change my weren't going to change my ideas on that one. That's worth quite a bit of money, so I'm hoping that does come off for me. Oh, big baseball bat blow to the face there by Bret Hart on Macho Man Randy Savage. Bret Hart with that big overhand punch, and another one. Russian leg sweep there on Macho Man Randy Savage. And Bret Hart taking control after that baseball bat to the face. Throwing Macho Man into the ring, and there's the elbow to the face as well. The weather's getting even worse outside now. Bret now bringing Macho Man into the middle of the ring, and there's the Saito suplex. And I do believe that falls count anywhere means that rope breaks don't matter either. Well, it's no disqualification, I suppose, or I don't know. I'm pretty sure rope breaks don't count in this situation. Bret bringing Macho Man back up to his feet. Taking him up. Pile driver by Bret Hart on Macho Man, and surely that's going to be all. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2, and 3, and there you go. Bret Hart avoids the cold streak debuff by picking up the victory here over the Macho Man Randy Savage. However, unfortunately for Macho Man, he has now lost 2 matches in a row. But he's lost 2 matches in a row, but they've been to Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. So in fairness to Macho Man, it's not been the easiest 2 matches for him to win. But he is now affected by that cold streak debuff, and I'm sure Bret Hart will be involved in the #1 contendership sort of matches coming up over the next few weeks, as will Macho Man Randy Savage as well. But like I said, with the cold streak debuff, it's going to become more difficult for someone like Macho Man Randy Savage to pick up that #1 contendership. Like I said, we're going to crown 3 #1 contenders over the next few weeks as we go on to our first Clash of Champions pay-per-view for Andre the Giant's WWE Championship. Well, anyway, guys, that is the end of this episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, then be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out a lot. And of course, subscribe for a hell of a lot more WWE 2K16 Universe Mode, as well as more random matches. We're going to do some showcase and some career mode pretty soon, hopefully, as well. And of course, Fallout 4 if you're interested in that sort of thing as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.